years ago, I want to say back in '04 to '06, I used to run mail from O'Hare to Toronto. Actually, Mississauga, which is
I was
just
going to ask you if you ever did contract for the mail for the post office.
yes, I did. And Mississauga, which is just outside of Toronto, right by the Pearson Airport there in Canada, well, lower part of Ontario there. And we're talking what now? 14, 16 years ago. Of course, the steel. I used to haul the big coils. People today, or the drivers today, don't know what they're doing. They're not trained well enough to be out there without proper training. And now with all these the technology that's with it, it takes the human element out of what a driver is supposed to do out there, especially in bad conditions.
Hold that thought. A couple months ago, I think we talked about this briefly last month before you were busy, we were busy. I saw a thing on 60 Minutes actually. A show that's been around 50 years, well respected. They showed a company out west, I believe it's Arizona, driverless trucks. I forget the name of the company. They said, "Well, this works with
Tesla and Volvo was working on it.
Yeah, I think it was a different. I can't remember, but they got the GPS and the sensors and the cameras. They used proprietary technology for this. They couldn't share what they were using. I'm sure it was Ubuntu with snaps, right? No, I'm just kidding. So they didn't say.
No problem with snaps.
It's probably it's probably a form of Linux, if I had to guess, but they didn't say. I can't prove it. I don't know. Putting that joke aside, they showed this 18-wheeler on a straightaway across the Arizona desert. It seemed on a straightaway with the driver, or the guy with the computer as a co-pilot, as the emergency backup. And this truck, there was no trucker. The computer did fine. And they're saying, now they made some points which make sense. A driverless truck doesn't have to stop to go pee. There's no danger of falling asleep. Less chance of an accident. Doesn't go after eat. No brakes and all that. So they made good points, but of course they didn't list the cons too, obviously.
The same video that you're talking about.
So as a consumer of shipping goods from Amazon, Walmart, like we all are, and I think they said, I believe it was on the show, they said it, if you bought it, a trucker brought it. Brought it. So they listed all the positive, which, to be fair, from a layman's terms, it makes sense. Driverless trucks. But they're saying this is tested to work in the rain, not in the snowstorm, not yet. However, I'm thinking, well, wait. What if there's an accident and there's a state trooper trying to flag you down? Will the computer know that? I'm just saying. What if the truck drives and it blows a tire, or it starts to slide on the ice? Will the computer driver know that? Tim, what are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts again on that is this. Like I said, if I can try to repeat myself like when I talked to you the last time, I think it's a lot of the stuff is good for assistance, but when you're taking out the human element, it's a no-go. They're putting guys in trucks that don't know how to drive a stick. They got all these automatic trucks out here. Since you brought up weather, because now the Italian part's going to come at me, so excuse me for talking from one subject to another because I talk in circles.
Hey, what's the matter with them? I'm just joking.
There's nothing wrong with that as long as you use your hands too.
I'm trying to. So what happens here is, now the truck is controlling you. You're not controlling the vehicle. Now we're not talking a car here, or a pickup truck. We're talking a vehicle that you're licensed for, or it's permitted for 80,000 pounds. We're talking tractor, trailer, and load.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Okay? Yeah. That's a lot. You're talking 40 tons here that you have to control.
Yeah. Right.
Now, a lot of loads are lighter than that. Okay. So when you're talking empty, you're roughly running, depends if you got a aluminum, spread axle trailer, it just depends on what you're hauling here. Okay? Now, there's also oversized loads that are permitted for 100-something thousand pounds. You're going to tell me that this computer is going to control this in bad weather?
I mean,
it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Know. I really don't know.
It's not going to happen. I drove an automatic truck. Forget it.
That's why testing is an evolution. There's no
It's
no,
good to have a
there's no
sensor.
going.
They have sensors also that will sit there. Say, for example, somebody gets too close to you, so many feet, it's automatically slowing the truck down. Now you got a shadow from the clouds. There's nobody in front of you. Okay. Now the truck is slowing down automatically. You have no control of it. You got somebody behind you that's going to rear end the hell out of you.
There's no like an off switch, like bypass it,
No.
I'm assuming? Oh, wow.
No.
Okay.
No.
That's not good.
Just like your cars. Your cars have computers in them. Okay? You can't even change the battery out of your car without doing it right because it's going to reprogram itself if you don't unhook that battery right.
In my car, I believe I can turn off the traction control, which I do.
I'm talking about changing your battery.
Yeah, because
It's not like
electronics.
you're supposed to.
Yeah.
It screws up the entire computer system. So
Yeah.
you better make sure you unplug the negative, then the positive.
And most
Then
people don't
rehook
read
it
the
up.
manual to right.
And then when you rehook it up, you better hook up the positive, then the negative.
Or you may fry something.
And then it's going to take the car
Yeah.
or a pickup truck time to get the computer system to recalibrate itself. So all these trucks now, they got these ABS braking systems. They got automatic air this, automatic this. I mean, Jesus Christ. You can't even have a driver. You got guys that don't even know how to drive a stick. They're on a big rig. You have to be able to put that Jake brake on, know how to gear down, to shift into gear. You said your father drives a truck there, CJ? Okay. So your dad will coincide with this. And Anselm, I think you said you also did also, right? Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. To get into gear, you have to match speed with RPM to get into gear, whether you upshift or downshift, or you're grinding, or you're in neutral, and you have no control. And you have no control. You have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're going to sit there and depend on an automatic truck, and you sit there and depend on all these other sensors. No, the human element has to do that. The video that you watched, Carmine, was a video that this truck that ran in Arizona only ran, 60 miles?
I don't remember.
Something like that?
It was on a straight line, more or less. Yeah.
We got S-curves, we got up and down valleys, we have grades, we have stop and go, we have all kinds of stuff. I'm sorry.
One of the things I got to tell you right there, and you'll agree with this, people got to really give, people got to give truckers more respect.
Yes, they do.
And more understanding.
Yes, they do.
I guess no one should really get any more respect. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying, how do you people need to be smart and judge everything.
Yeah.
And the average person, I don't think they teach enough people about trucks.
Yeah.
When you're getting your license, they should be telling you these trucks are really, really heavy.
Well, they're a missile. They're a missile. When you get the people that, and I'll say the last 15 to 20 years. I've been doing this 35 years. I started November of 84 is when I started. I was 23 when I started. So this would have been the 36th year this next month. But again, I stopped in January. Now, who knows if I'll do it again later, but I'm pretty glad that I'm out of it. I'm done.
Especially now, yeah.
Yes, and I was able to. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot where you got these pileups, these statistics. People die. I've seen it, and I was very lucky to be able to come home, because you don't know if you're coming home. It is. They talk about stressful job, risky job. Truck driving is probably one of the most that's out there, just like the police force, because you don't know if you're coming home. You don't know. And I was very lucky to be able to walk, to still be walking. Okay. And I was in a massive car accident back in 1973. I went through a windshield of a car. And go figure, I went to go drive for a living. Okay.
The year I was born.
73.
Yeah.
So I took this career, very serious. Safety. I'll run. I'll run. But I'll do it the right way. You get these gun runners out here that don't give a shit what they're doing, and they put everybody at risk.
Okay.
And that's the problem. They're not trained enough. They're just not trained enough, and this is what they need. They need more training. CJ made a comment about whether it's a four-wheeler, whether it's a big truck, even these big truck guys, these cowboys out here. You have to have your space. You have to know you have an escape route just in case something happens in front of you or on the side of you.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just in case. Yeah.
And you have to respect it. That's no matter what you do. I don't run motorcycles. I don't run motorcycles. I love them, but I don't run them.
I always say people need to understand, no matter what, when they're driving, understand their physics. And it's kind of sad because that is impossible for the average person. But understanding the physics of their car, the heavy. Sometimes you see someone driving and you can't believe they're driving, like the way they're sitting at the wheel, and you're like, "Are you ready for an accident? Are you ready? The way you're barely touching this." And
they don't have peripheral vision. They don't.
There are a million reasons why accidents happen, and a lot of those. That's why I welcome self-driving, by the way, because I don't think people can be trusted.
Tim, so let me say this, Tim, real quick.
Here's the problem, CJ. Yeah. Here's the problem with that. You cannot count on that because just remember this: every vehicle, no matter what it is, car, truck, whatever, they're all put together by nuts and bolts. They will break.
Right.
Computer systems will have a fault in them, and when
eventually,
they have a fault, okay,
yeah,
you're going to be able to control it. Now you got a driver that has not been trained how to drive a truck. What's he going to do when that fault happens?
It's okay. So the way I see it, as an outsider, three things here: computer-controlled trucks are okay if, number one, there's a master on-off switch. 2, only as a backup. And 3, if the driver is trained for the computer system and the truck itself. Would that be a fair assessment, Tim?
Yeah.
As an assistant.
I think so. I put this in the past where it's an assistance. It's a tool. It's an assistance tool. Just like GPS.
Yeah.
Because everybody counts on GPS to sit there and route them somewhere. And today, if you ask somebody how to read a map, they can't read a map.
And that GPS can be turned off in the car if you want to. You don't have to use it.
People don't even know how to read a map. It's the same thing with driving a truck.
Yeah.
So we're talking, I don't care if it's a 5-speed.
Yeah.
They do have straight 5s, straight 7s.
Okay.
I drive a 13 and a 10. There's 18s and 15s.
Okay.
I drive basically a 13 and a 10 speed. 13s is my favorite gear pattern. Okay? Now you get somebody out there that doesn't even know what the hell he's doing. What gear do I go?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to know what you, and it all comes with time. It all comes with time.
Has training changed? To get over? My dad's not even out here anymore. But when he started, he was a businessman before that for many years. He came from Sweden, and he was a businessman for many years. His mom brought him here when he was a teenager and brought him to New York, and she was a CEO of a company that came to New York. But after his business years, he was like my age, and he said, I want to do something different. And he went to trucking school. I remember he went to a school, I think called Dudson or something out west.
Okay.
And that was when he was my age now. And he is now about to retire. He's 75 years old. He's about 74, about to be 75. And he's going to retire, well, I don't know when he wants to. He's not going to retire. He's gone through cancer twice, but he's got his million-mile, safety. But he doesn't want to retire. He just likes to keep doing it. He'll say he wants to,
Is he hauling vans, doubles, or 53-footers? What's he hauling?
Triples. Million mile safety. He's got his own parking spot with his name on it.
Million miles.
I did a lot of so he's running a lot of turnpike stuff, running straight.
We actually have a school here that there's a community college here, Tim, that teaches students if they want to learn trucking. It's just about just like a couple miles down the road to get that CDL license. Yeah.
This is what they do, Carmen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They put these guys out after 4 weeks of training. That is not enough.
It seems to me it should be 4 months.
Oh yeah,
you're right. It's probably not enough. It's just
it's not enough.
4 weeks.
My son Nick is 33 years old. Okay.
A pilot. You know what? If you think about it, say planes are safer than cars. A pilot has to do it's depending on the certification, several 1,000 hours or something like that. I mean, that seriously,
4
it
weeks.
makes sense that what he's saying is right. It's true.
It is because they do not train these guys right. All they're doing, because a lot of these companies now, all they want is a body in that vehicle because they got to move freight. That's all they care about.
Mm-hmm.
All they care about is that money. Okay,
if you know nothing about trucks or very little like me, and I want to do that, which I don't, 4 weeks, I would not feel. 4 months, maybe I feel comfortable. Maybe.
You know, when I got into the limousine business, before I owned a limousine company, I was just handed the keys. Here, trick kid, try it. Hope you do it. Have a good night. You got a nice suit? Okay, bye. And,
now, again,
but I can tell you, I learned
my
lesson how to do shit too, but I definitely wasn't trained at all.
No, but what's the old saying? I mean, it's on-job training is probably your best at times, but you also
but not 4 weeks.
It depends what field, especially this.
Yeah.
No. Again, my son Nick, he's driving now. He's been driving now for about a year and a half. And I was really against.
Well, that's enough. Though. Training. I mean,
no, he's driving now. But he got lucky. He's the one that lives. That's okay for me to say. I got no problem saying this. He lives down in Vincennes, which is south of Terre Haute, Indiana. Okay, and he they got the 2 kids, and he paid for his own driver training stuff. But he got lucky to get out with a company he's doing basically what's it called, door delivery shit. The gas stations, the schools, the restaurants. Okay,
distribution.
But he's got to wheel the shit off and hand and load door to door crap.
Okay,
city stuff.
I'm sorry,
like city stuff around the city, or
he's down south. Because I'm in the Chicago Heights area, so you were from around here, right, CJ?
I am. I was raised in the city, north side, Rogers Park.
Because I'm south.
From the 70s through 80s.
Okay. Well, I'm in Chicago Heights, which is a
station. Oh, no, sorry.
I'm sorry?
I was just joking. I just did a imitation.
He's down south of Terre Haute. And, but he got lucky where a lot of new guys, they put them on the road. Because nobody locally is going to hire you unless you have any kind of experience. We'll say, like, for example, I worked for ABF for years until I had to leave there to take care of my daughter when she was born. Okay? I had 3 boys from my first marriage, and then dummy me, 99, got involved. And then, of course, my daughter came and the mom took off. So I took care of Carly from day one. All right? And I did the doubles, triples qualified with ABF. And I hated to leave ABF because I wanted to retire from there, But they're putting these guys on. I forgot what was that. I just lost my train. Carmine, help me
So the
out.
training, because of the training's too short, or
It's too short. So here, that's where I'm at. So Nicky gets lucky. He gets lucky where he doesn't have to go on the road to get his experience. Say, for example, if he wanted to go into UPS right now, this that pays a lot of money, good company to work for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
5 years minimum experience.
Holy cow.
Minimum.
5 years.
5 years minimum.
Wow. Okay.
He got lucky to go out locally in Vincennes with the company that he's working for.
So they want a safe driver, UPS. That's what they do. Okay. All right.
And this would go with ABF or any other union outfit. I mean, to me, ABF and UPS are probably the best 2 that you want to go with. Don't even mess with Roadway or Yellow or
it's the same if you are going to be a heavy equipment technician.
Yes.
They want 5 years for anything heavy to work on.
Makes sense.
So he's getting
it's for your own safety too, really. Yeah.
But here's his benefit. The benefit for him is now he is learning how to back into any hole.
Nice.
You see a hole. What happens is you see it. You can project how you want to sit up to back into that hole.
It's
Doesn't
not
matter.
easy. Yeah.
Blind side, jackknife blind side.
Really?
No matter how, whatever.
Wow.
You can find a room. If you didn't have that, I know it's a bitch because you're going to drive truck equipment running locally. The road guys, again, now here's the problem with the road guys. When they go out there, you better hope that they give you a good driver trainer.
Yeah.
So anyway,
All right.
He's a chrome guy.
Yeah.
I'm the chrome guy.
He's a chrome trucker. Whoop-de-doo. No, just kidding.
Nick gets mad at me because I call him Nicky. I go, you've been Nicky since your little voice.
Hey, slick Nick. Ba-ba-boo. Okay.
So he got lucky. He's doing well. But here's the thing. He's driving stick shift trucks. He's driving shit equipment. So now when you go to the good stuff, you're going to know what to do.
Okay. Makes sense.
Okay?
Yeah, yeah.
And here's my thing, too. I'll get back to your very original question. Am I glad that I'm done with it? I'll get back to that in a second. When we talk 5 years, and I say this to any driver that's starting out, to me, I'm old school. There's even the old timers before me that were in that era that taught me. I drove manual steering trucks. I drove R Model Max, manual steering wheel. Those big steering wheels, no air conditioning.
Wow.
Back in the 80s, okay? Up on Belmont, I remember a company I used to go to, 4500 West Belmont. It was called Farley Candy. And I had to sit there and blindside off cross traffic to get into a hole. They only had 4 docks. You talk about sweating your butt. Kept in shape, right? Right? But you learn this stuff. That had a 13 speed. And I was like, what the hell is this? Because you had to know. Because what you do is on a 13 speed, it's a four gear pattern. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, upshift to high range, and then say 4B5. But now you're going to split the high range gear. You do that with your throttle with the knob.
Sounds complicated, like Scotty on Star Trek. Captain, I don't know what to do here.
Hey, today,
I'm sorry?
my cousin had a condo in like the 4,000 block of Belmont, and like I don't know, like the last decade. And I remember that area is still narrow. It's never changed. It's like
very narrow. It's also angled. It's got Milwaukee and Lincoln Avenue and all that shit up there. So, so my thing was to all these guys that are coming out. I tell them this. I says, listen, it takes 5 years of being green. You may start to learn. I say this to even my son. I says, you may start learning stuff. Okay, it's not like working in a factory or a shop and you're learning a machine or you learn it in a month, right? Or 2 months, you learn something. This is a whole different ballgame. After your 5th year, now you're going to really start learning the whole ins and outs of the whole transportation business of it all.
Okay.
How to not just finagle but improvise to make things work when they break, so that you're safe on the road. How to slide tandems, how to slide your 5th wheel, how to know what your axle limits are, how to position your freight to distribute it so that you're legal on your axles, because you got DOT out there. DOT is for Department of Transportation. You see the scales. They're going to look at somebody. Hey, don't go up to somebody or DOT official comes up to you, whether it's state officer or whatever, and sit there and say you don't know what the hell you have. What's on your bills of lading? Cross your T's, dot your I's, know what the hell you're doing. And it takes a lot of time to understand this stuff, because what's going to end up happening one day you're going to be out there because it's very desolate. Being a truck driver is very desolate. You're out there by yourself. You better figure out how you're going to sit there and fix something when nobody's out there to help you.
Yeah. Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah.
And there's times, shit's broke down. Of course, you got vendors out there. You call, thank God we got cell phones now, but back in the day, we didn't have them.
You had CB radios.
Now you're walking down the road.
Yeah.
Well, but I still run a CB.
I have a CB radio. That still works now. I showed it to my son, and my son says, Dad, what's this? Oh, well, let me show you. Yeah.
I was lucky in the late 90s when I got into limo driving in Los Angeles. Cell phones were there, and Nextel came shortly right after that. Those little Nextel
I
BB
remember
things.
walkie-talkie, yeah.
Yeah, and then I think that I don't ever had. I never, we had something out in California called the Thomas Guide. So mapping and communication was just the right time. Well, those mapping guides were around for years, but they were the best in the nation.
Back then, we didn't have. Carmine said we had the CBs, and back then, drivers whether they were union guys, non-union guys, didn't matter if they were hauling steel, vans, hauling food, hauling swinging. It didn't matter what they were hauling. Okay, dump truck, didn't matter. We had a brotherhood, and everybody helped one another. Everybody helped out one another when somebody was broke down. Today, they're nothing, excuse my French, nothing but a bunch of morons. It's going to say something different. I'm just trying to be nice.
I understand.
No, I believe half the world is morons right now.
I'm just saying, they
Is Channel 19 still the trucker channel? It was bad. I know. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
But then again, you have separate channels where people, that say for companies running, they'll go to,
Yeah. Okay.
But,
All right.
but they would help one another. And if there wasn't there, trust me, you're out there doing this to go get help.
So my question is, are you glad, getting back to my original, are you
Am I done? Yes.
okay?
I am glad I'm done for one massive, massive reason. I mean, I experienced a lot. I do miss the people that I worked with, the friends that I've made. But I look at it as, listen, I'm still walking. I'm not a statistic of that big pilot that didn't come home
Okay.
to my family.
Okay.
And that was probably one of the biggest reasons why. Then when Mom got sick here this second time around, it was like, that was the icing on the cake, and it was like time to step away.
Okay.